It is not a hidden fact that climate change is a problem that is affecting all of the world right now. Starting from the days when we used to read about environmental concerns in our EVS textbooks, we've reached such a juncture when this problem is engulfing and plaguing the entire world right now to such an extent that living and existing has become a question. Starting from the plethora of climatic concerns, we have the heat wave coupled with global warming, which has led to exorbitant increase in temperatures. Secondly, we have the water crisis, as we have experienced at home in Chennai and other parts of the world, where certain states have been expected to reach a day zero, where they will not be left with water resources for themselves. In fact, a very interesting point is that there is a zoo in Lusaka, Zambia, where there is a cage which reads the world's most dangerous animal. And on approaching the cage, all you see is a mirror, which just reflects the fact that the world's most dangerous animal is nobody but man himself. Today, we at Indian Folk went around the city of Calcutta asking people about their opinions on the climatic concerns that are affecting the world right now and what is their take on it. So, as you know, the climate change and global warming is a very prevalent concern in the world right now. So, what is your take on the current heat wave that is engulfing the world altogether?
The heat wave that is engulfing the world right now, like, to be very blunt about it, whatever is happening with the climate right now is all our fault. We have brought it upon ourselves with the years and decades of negligence that we have shown to our environment, and we deserve it. But yes, definitely steps need to be taken for controlling the heat wave and everything that's been going on, and we as citizens, and like not just citizens, we as people need to do our little things that we can to contribute towards it. But a larger step needs to be taken, I believe, on the part of the government to control the climate changes and to counter and make sure that it doesn't get worse in the years to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the heat wave, it's killing so many people. So medical insurances need to be made better medical facilities need to be given. It needs to be ensured that all the factories and all the other outlets which are contributing to the increasing temperatures, thus contributing to the heat wave in turn, are kept under check and control. And like, off the top of my head, one of the reasons why climate change is happening is all the smoke that comes out of the factories, and many times they go unchecked, all the pollutants that are let out. And there's a standard. Yes, the government has set a particular standard for the factories that beyond this particular standard the smoke should not be released, but then they are not doing anything. So there is somewhere, that's a point where you need to take a affirmative step towards the factories so that something doesn't like that is not happening. And it needs a lot of changes and a lot of support from the government, I believe.
So, apart from the heat wave, I think there are other concerns as well which are plaguing the world altogether. So, if you talk about water, it is a resource which is absolutely essential for life. And I think all of us know about the current water crisis. It's not really affecting just our country, but I think various parts of the world. In fact, there are some states in India as well which have been predicted to reach a day zero where they will not have any water of their own. So, what is your take on the current water crisis that's affecting the world?
I will again give the same reply. Our Parliament is more busy trying to make other laws pass rather than have a discussion about the water crisis that's been going on. They are going out and attending inaugurations and parties instead of sitting down and discussing. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, there was this picture which was released of the Parliament where on the day they were discussing the water crisis, even 40% of the Parliament was not in attendance. And that is just sad. I mean, we don't need water too. They need water too. Everyone needs water. It's an absolute basic necessity. And they are doing nothing. Neither are like the lakes and rivers being taken care of properly, nor are they being checked, nor are proper water resources being provided to the areas where it's needed. You can't send one tanker in for one day at an area where there are 20,000 people living. You need to send in more water, and for that, if you need help from the neighboring countries, neighboring states, ask for it. There's no shame in asking for water. There's no shame in agreeing to the fact that yes, I have a crisis and I need to look after it, I need to take care of it, because the longer that you deny the presence of the crisis, the worse it's going to get and the more it's going to spread. So
Okay, so it's almost the end of July in Kolkata and it has still not received substantial rains. On top of that, Chennai is supposed to have been hit by a massive drought. So, sir, what according to you is the most pressing concern right now that the rains are not happening, do you think India is being affected by it in some major way?
Two things. First of all, we have to look at from 2 points of view. First, the personal and in the microcosm. You see, in Bengal, we haven't had rains for a long time, and it's almost the end of July, as you said. Meanwhile, in Bihar and in Assam, the entire region is flooded. Now, if we look at it from the macrocosm, we have to look at what the governments of the world are doing. If you look at the UNFCCC, the United Nations Framework Convention, which agreed upon the Paris Convention. So, what was the agreement? The agreement was basically the agreement was for sustainable development, that within the next 5 years, the temperatures has to go down by 2 degrees. So how far has this progressed? I don't think very far, because you see, first of all, the US backed out of this convention, followed by Israel, and also 55% of the countries agreed to it, and that is not a huge number. This is a situation that calls for multilateralism and not unilateral decisions.
All right, so you spoke at length about the issue of climate change is the most plaguing concern, and erratic weather formats is something that's taking the country by storm. That's not the right way to say it, but okay. So you live in Kolkata, and the heat wave is completely making life difficult, the daily commute. So can you tell me about your personal experience of this heat wave and how do you feel in it?
Yeah, personally, as you can see, all of us are being affected. It's not just me, you, everyone at large. Not just by heat waves, by floods, by droughts, by different climatic and erratic climatic situations all over the world. If you see in Paris this year, the temperatures reached up to almost 40 degrees. This is unheard of in a country like France. So what are we doing about it? That is my question. What we have done so far is destroy our planet. What we should do is, develop goals towards more sustainable development, which we aren't doing.
Thank you. All right, so coming to the water shortage part of it, Chennai has already had 4 Great Lakes drying up. So do you think the repercussions are being felt in a city like Kolkata?
No, I don't think Kolkata is ever going to feel repercussions like water shortages, because we have the Great Hooghly here. So, and the water bed here is doing enough to replenish groundwater levels, and the rains come in or not, the Ganges will be here, so drinking water won't be a problem, as far as I think.
Do you think the government and the public in general is doing enough to preserve the Ganges, or let's say harvest the groundwater rainwater that comes in as groundwater?
Whatever the government has been doing, or the KMC has been doing, I don't think it's enough, but it really needs to step up their game, because already there has been a proposition of the government starting a plan. Let's see how that goes as far as preserving water and converting Ganges water into drinking and potable water.
So as you know, the climate change is a very pressing concern that's engulfing all of the world right now. So firstly, what do you have to say about the heat wave that's plaguing the entire country as well as the world?
Well, it has always been a rising concern, like since the last few years. And it's so much evident nowadays, but the saddest part is like the awareness of the people regarding it is going down day by day. As the heat waves are increasing, the imminent danger is increasing, the awareness is going down day by day. So yeah, I feel like it's affecting so many other areas also, like not only the heat and everything, it's the subsequent areas and all the energy resources. And I feel, yeah, it's really, really serious and something to be really worried about.
So as we all know that the heat wave has been a rising concern throughout the years, but we have seen there's a specific negligence about the fact, because we are too much focused on about the fact that this is global warming, this is the climate change is happening, but we are not ready to do something about it. We are always every day we study in EVS that this is happening, this is not happening, but ultimately we don't take any actions against it. So the whole world is actually in an imminent danger, because if the heat wave rises, all our existence is at threat. So if you tamper with nature will hit you back ultimately. So it's not a thing to be just to be not be of a concern. So it's really a thing that should be taken care of at this moment.
Having caught up with the people of Kolkata, from students to daily office goers, we realized one important thing, and that is, while the problem of water shortage might not knock at our doorstep as of yet, what is definitely happening is that people are feeling the upshots and repercussions of the heat wave. Kolkata, which lies near the Bay of Bengal, should ideally get a great amount of rainfall starting from the month of June. Yet, for normal college goers and office goers who take the daily metro, or the bus commutes, rainfall hasn't happened quite as it happens all through these years. For the simple reason, some find it nice for they do not have any hindrance to their daily commute and the waterlogged streets are no hindrance to their daily work. Some people also find it irritating and kind of alarming for the simple reason that the weather is changing at a rapid pace. Where there are floods happening in Assam and Kerala, Kolkata, a somewhat coastal city, has still not received as much rain as it should receive. This is indeed alarming, and the problem of water shortage, while it does not knock at our door immediately, it has already knocked in the doors of our neighbors, Chennai. And it is not far when Kolkata's lakes dry up, its groundwater, if it fails to be properly harvested at this point, will spell doom for the entire city, which greatly depends on the Hooghly, its rivers, and its lakes. For our viewers who are interested in more such informative videos, live sessions, and articles, you may log on to our website, indianfolk.com, our YouTube channel, Indian Folk Official, and also our Facebook page.